Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and welcome to our live video series. This is a fun one today. So today, I may have mistitled this video. If you're watching it live, I've called it Why Kia Canada Expects the Kia Seltos to be our top-selling vehicle in 2021. However, I'm not sure if I'll stick with that title because I'm not 100% sure that Kia Canada expects it to be our number one selling vehicle. But we'll talk about why I clarified that. And if the title doesn't say Kia Canada, that's just because I don't want to make anybody angry at me. Anyways, we are expecting the Kia Seltos to be one of our top selling vehicles next year. And we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about what's coming down the pipeline. And we're going to talk about all that in just a couple minutes. So if you're not watching live with us, you can jump ahead to the 3 minute mark. That'll take you right to the content of this video. If you want to know how to watch us live, let me show you how to do that right over here, right now. If I can flip the camera around, there we go. All right. Okay. So if you go to, not this page, if you go to our YouTube page, you're probably already on YouTube. If you search for Brantford Kia, you're going to see this is what we look like. If you hit the refresh button at exactly 2 o'clock, you usually, almost every single time lately, have seen the live video right here on the home page. If you don't see it there, click this videos tab. That'll take you to it. But anyways, we're going to click into here. And now you're in our live video. And that's very loud. I'm going to mute that. Oh, this guy's much more fit than I am. See you later, buddy. Okay. Skipping the ad. There we go. Okay. So here we go. We're going to blow this up a little bit and throw it over here. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Gabby. So everybody saw on my Instagram that Gabby is now with us. So we've officially introduced her. She's been here for a few days now. We're looking forward to having her here, and she will not be in this video, but she will be on YouTube or on Instagram, so we can talk about that. Ready for class? Say a few people. All right, we'll go through this. I don't know if this will be as much of a class as anything else. What do we got for news? Oh, I do have some news. Kia Sorento. I was expecting it as early as this week. That's not going to happen. We are being told now by the end of the month. So I'm hoping to see it by the end of the month. At least 2 or 3 of them showing up by the end of the month. And of course, when that vehicle shows, you're going to see more content here about that vehicle than anywhere else. So there we go. Grant walked through. Oh, Grant, yeah, you can come in. One of our sales guys wanted to walk through, but he didn't want to go through. Anyway, so Kia Sorento is coming, but it's going to be a little while now. So we're going to have to make do with no Sorento in the lineup right now until late in the month. So kind of an interesting situation for us, but we'll make do. We flip back around here. Yeah, you know what? Some of our commenters are criticizing. Well, sometimes things happen. I'm not sure it's fully in their control. They are trying their best, and certainly I am trying my best. I was hoping to have a Sorento to talk about all of December, and we don't have that yet. All right, about 10 seconds ago, we are going to head live. Just checking one thing. I updated my computer, and I can't bring it over to the Apple TV without changing things. All right. Does Peter have class? Is that what somebody said? I don't know. Oh, class, yeah. Okay, Peter doesn't have any class. All right, here we go. 3 minutes in. We are going to talk about the Kia Seltos today. And specifically, we're going to talk about the 2 vehicles you see right here. Now, we're going to vary it up a little bit. Let me just tell you what we've done and why we're doing this. So, fun fact, the Kia Seltos, the 2021 Kia Seltos, came out in around March of this year. And in March, of course, that's not the full year. Obviously, you kind of know how the year went. January, February, normal year. March, not so much of a normal year in 2020. Anyways, since that time, the Kia Seltos has crowned itself our top-selling vehicle here at Brantford Kia, and it has done extremely well throughout Canada. So as I mentioned, I may retitle this video because I'm not 100% sure that Kia Canada expects it to be our number one seller next year, although we at Brantford Kia do expect it to be our number one seller, and it could very well be the number one selling Kia for 2021. And there's a few reasons for it. We're going to talk about that in these 2 vehicles. Now, when we talk about best-selling vehicles, what we're talking about is 2 vehicles that are probably going to be the best in class or the top selling vehicles as well. So this right here is the EX model. That is the one we've been selling the most of. That is the one that is the volume seller. And the EX Premium, which looks a lot like that, is also a very popular seller. That happens to be the SX Turbo, and I just pulled that one in. I'm going to be very honest because let me just do something over here. I pulled that silver one in because over here, the rest of them are covered in snow still, and I've cleared enough cars of snow. So full disclosure, Kia Canada really appreciates it when we have clean vehicles on video. These had the quick wipe down, but I pulled them in because they're not covered in snow. So Kia EX Premium is very similar to this car. We'll talk about some of the differences, but also I just wanted to have the different engine, different transmission, different model in here. So that's what we're talking about today. We're 5 minutes in. If you have never joined us live, we spend about 25 to 30 minutes talking about these cars. After the 30-minute mark of this video, we will go off topic. So if it's longer than 30 minutes, don't worry, we won't keep you longer. You're welcome to stay if you want. But that's what's going on. And I like talking about these two vehicles. I really like talking about these two vehicles because they are just excellent vehicles. There's a reason they became our top selling vehicles. So let's take a look at where we are in the lineup. One thing, I am going to beg you for likes throughout this video. To hit that like button on your you can subscribe as well, that'd be great. But to hit that like button on your YouTube page there, that helps me out. That's all I ask for Christmas, my birthday, just, in general. That's all I'm asking for is hit that like button, and that really helps me out. I want to get to 40 likes. We've been getting to 30 a few times. I want to get to 40 likes. And you guys always see 20, 22 people on. We end up with 150 to 190 people on most days. So we can get to 40 likes. We can do this. All right. Do I have 2021 Nero EV or the Soul EV in stock yet? We do have the 2020 Nero EV, 2021 Soul EV. I think we just sold our last one out, but we'll have more in here. So we will talk about those soon as well. We do a lot of EV talk, so feel free to subscribe. We'll get that in probably this week as well. All right, let me just quickly show you what we're doing right here. Kia Seltos. This is our webpage. Starts at $22,995. Is that this one here in the picture? Of course it's not. The one in the picture here is the top line version. We're going to show you that right here. Here's where it starts. The wheels do not look like that. That looks like an artist's rendering of wheels. They are much nicer looking wheels. The LX front wheel drive. Again, this car shares engine and transmission with the Kia Forte, Kia Soul, and the LX front wheel drive is really an option for people looking for a Soul that maybe need a little more space, maybe want the roof racks, maybe they want blind spot detection at that price point. Those are some features that come here on that LX front wheel drive. Beyond that LX front wheel drive, you're moving to an all wheel drive. You get different rear suspension, you get different wheels, and you get the all-wheel drive. So that is the big $24,985. That's where we start with our all-wheel drive vehicles from Kia Land. The one I have beside me, or in here, is the blue one. $27,595 is the EX model. That's what we're going to look at. That's our real volume model. It's where I suggest people try to get to. I don't have any issue if you buy these cars, but if you really want the best value, I feel like the EX is great value. It brings in a lot of the safety features. Then there's the EX Premium, and then there's the SX Turbo. I happen to have the SX Turbo in here, different engine, heads-up display, different transmission, Bose audio. We'll talk about all that right now. So let's take a look here at the EX first. Again, EX model, kind of a mid-level model. However, at that $27,595 MSRP price, you have a pretty nice vehicle. You have leather seats in here. Now, they are an artificial leather, and I'm going to be very honest. Even compared to the Napa leather of the top of the line Kia Telluride, I prefer this artificial leather. It is just as soft, if not softer. It is a little bit grippy, so you don't slide around the seat like you would on some leather. And it is also less hot, less cold, I find. It's just a nicer leather. And you get that here on this EX trim. The other thing you get on this EX trim in Canada is you have a nice, let me show you up there, sunroof as well. So I'm a big fan of sunroof. Every single Kia Seltos has a roof rack as well. I'm a big outdoors person, so you have the roof rack here. I take my canoe, my kayak. It's kind of both. It's kind of a complicated little, well, it's a very simple boat, but it's a canoe kayak mix, hybrid. I take that on the top of that on roof racks. It's super handy, and you can take your bikes up there. So every single one comes with that. Now let's hop inside the dash here, and we'll see what you get. First of all, there's a button on the door. You guys all know what that means. Keyless entry and push button start. So one of the reasons I say to move to this model if you can. Now, the LX feels like a very nice car, and it really is. It's got cloth seats. However, and the dash looks the same in here. It is a key start, but you're really missing out on some of the safety features. So let's just talk about a few of the safety features you get in this car. Whoops, let me just turn the climate system off for a second. You also have a manual climate control system in that car. All right, lane keeping assist. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Not the most beautiful display in the world here, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with this. It is a black and white display, but it is very clear. You're going to see the step up to the EX Premium or SX model that we have in the bay here as well. You're going to see a nicer looking display screen, but you still have all the same information in here. So you have the lane keeping assist, driver attention warning. There's your all-wheel drive graph. We showed that yesterday when we showed the Telluride. and the tire pressure monitors. That's all sort of standard stuff. You also have blind spot detection, which we're going to zoom out over here. Blind spot detection over here, which of course lights that up. That gives you safe exit warning. We'll talk about that. It also gives you rear cross traffic alert. We'll talk about that. You also have forward collision avoidance assists, which is super helpful as well. You also have um, the lane follow assist. So let's talk about lane keeping and lane follow assist, just so you understand what they are. And this is one of the reasons I really encourage people to move to this model. I quite like this feature. It sees the lane markers. Lane keeping assist sees the lane markers in the road. As it sees the lane markers, the car will keep you centered. Now let's talk about that for a second. It steers itself. It literally steers itself. It can keep itself centered in the lane. It can go around gentle bends. You're supposed to always keep your hands on the wheel. I always describe it a lot like Tesla Autopilot because if you've ever driven Tesla Autopilot, not Tesla Full Self Drive, and by the way, that's a Tesla Model 3 with Full Self Drive right there. When you drive a Tesla in autopilot, it also steers itself, and you're also supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. So it's a very similar feeling. Now, people in Teslas think that's the greatest thing ever, and people who hop in a Kia go, "Oh, I don't want my car steering for itself," and it's like, yeah. You do. You want your car steering for itself. It's great because what happens is when you look over here and you get distracted by your big screen, you end up drifting in your lane. So that's going to keep you centered in your lane. Now, what's cool about the lane follow assist is it's just a little bit more precise application of it. You can hit that button to turn it on or off right from your thumb on the steering wheel. And let's say you're driving down a country road. There's a left side lane marker, and maybe the right side lane marker isn't there. There's just some gravel, or there's a curb, or there's whatever else. Well, without that lane marker, lane keeping assist would have trouble keeping you centered. However, lane follow assist is a smart system. It understands where the road is most of the time and will, again, steer you down the lane. Now, we're not the only car company to have this. I drove in a Honda minivan not too long ago that had lane keeping assist, and it was awful because it would allow you to drift in your lane. And if you just touched a lane marker, the steering wheel would go bzz, bzz, and it would drive you nuts. So now there was extra anxiety in my ride as I had to make sure I never touched a line because if I did, the car would feel like it's just out of control. Not my favorite feature. On the Kia, you don't have that. The car keeps you centered in the lane, so it just sort of nudges the steering wheel for you a little bit to keep you centered. It never distracts you. It actually makes you a better driver. And the nice thing is, if you do get slightly distracted, you're going to stay in your lane. So really smart feature there. And I really encourage you to have it here. Now, let's talk about the blind spot detection for a quick second here. Blind spot detection, of course, we all know it lights up that little light in the mirror when someone's in your blind spot. Let's talk about how it works as far as when you're going backwards. You don't need blind spot detection going backwards. If I throw the car in reverse, you've got this crystal clear backup camera on this nice 8-inch screen. You can see the lines in the floor there. So when you're backing up, if we look out my side window here, I can see everybody backing up towards me right there. If that car's backing up right out the door, if he's coming past me, I will see him. However, if there's a minivan parked here, I may not be able to see anything beside me. Well, the car can see past where I can see, and it will allow us, it will warn us if someone's coming from the left or right side. It's a super, super great feature. It warns you. I prefer this over even just the blind spot detection because it tells me when somebody's coming when I can't possibly see them because I'm parked beside a taller car. Blind spot detection, you can often find a way to look around your blind spot detection and see that. So that's pretty cool. Now there's another safety feature in here as well. So we're going to show you by getting out of the car. Same system here. So blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert, they use a radar plate right here in the back of the car. And of course, this is probably a better example. If there's a minivan parked here, the driver can't see me as I'm driving this way. So even though the driver can't see me, the car can see me, and that's why I can see for rear cross traffic alert. Now, if I've parked the car on the side of the road, this car has safe exit assist. Or safe exit warning, excuse me. When a car is coming this way and I'm parked on the side of the road, it's going to warn me, beep, 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 that a car is coming if I try to open that back door. It keeps your kids safe. Hey, don't open that door, someone's coming. So all of that software is included with that one hardware piece, and it's a really nice feature to have. Now, of course, everything with the blind spot detection, you'll have that, but the lane keep, lane follow, and the collision avoidance system, which again uses this camera out front, there's a little camera right there, that's what sees the lane markers, but it's also what keeps you from hitting something in front of you. That all comes standard on this EX model. Let's take a quick look inside again. We're just going to look at the climate control system for a second. We're going to move over to the other vehicle to show you some of the differences in the higher trim level. We showed you this 8-inch screen here. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, standard on every Kia Seltos. Now, if you move to the EX model, hey, there's me in the reflection. Hi, everybody. If you move to this EX model, you're going to have an automatic climate control system. Currently, I have it set to 24 degrees. That means it's going to bring the car up to 24 degrees. It's going to auto defrost if necessary, auto defog, excuse me, if necessary. And that's great. Now, what's cool is this auto climate control. Sometimes when you set it to automatic and it's really cold or really hot, it's going to just jam the fan really high and it gets kind of noisy in here. So you can turn that down. It'll take longer to reach temperature, but it'll be a quieter cabin. So, kind of a neat little feature right there. Scrolling down, you've also got drive modes here. We've got smart, we've got sport, and we've got normal. I always like to keep it in smart. That's basically your eco mode, but it works really well. Over here is a nice little spot to put your phone. No wireless charging on the EX model, but you can have a wireless charger on the higher trim models, which we'll show you in 1 second. There's where you're going to plug in for your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and there's also another extra USB port down there as well, and a 12-volt port on the other side. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, that's all standard in this model as well. So rump roasters, as I like to call them, heated steering wheel as well, which is quite nice. And that's kind of the cabin here. So again, leather seats, automatic climate control, big 8-inch display, great information in here, tons of safety features, intelligent, easy to use controls on the steering wheel. There's Bluetooth controls over this side, power windows, power locks, power mirrors, of course, all the stuff you expect. It's a really good value in an all-wheel drive small crossover. And again, our small crossover, if you compare it to something like the Hyundai Kona, it's a larger crossover. So that is a better size point. And instead of buying something like a Honda CRV, people go to Honda HRV to save some money. Well, this is in that HRV class, but it's sort of a better size point than some of those. And it's a really good, compelling feature or compelling vehicle. Now, over here, I want to show you a couple little minor little outside details here. LX, EX, they have the same wheels, sort of a smoked gray wheel. The LX will have a plain black. Now, this is where you see where I got lazy and didn't clean the car properly. This is more of a piano black trim on this EX model. It'll be a matte gray color like this. So this will be matte gray all the way through. You can see that little piano black trim piece there. That's only on the EX. Matte gray on the LX. And over here on the SX, you do see a body color trim piece there. So that's one difference there. A little bit larger wheels on this SX model. Now, again, the EX model has EX Premium has wheels that look almost identical to this, but 1-inch smaller wheel. So same size wheel as you have over on this car, but that pattern, so same size wheel in the EX Premium, but that pattern without the red thing. So same size as this, same look as that, without the red ring in the middle. Now let's jump inside on this car. We're going to talk about lighting in a second because that's one of the big differences. We are going to get to your questions. So if you have questions in about 3 minutes, I'll get to them. I promise. If you haven't hit the like button yet, I'm trying to go for 40 likes today. I'm halfway there. I'm about halfway through my video. I could really use a few more likes. So we're going for 40 today. So we got 20. All right. So in this car, you're going to see right away a big difference here. Big, nice digital display screen. Good graphics in there. But you can see, same type of information, lane keeping assist. This one has a permanent speedometer over on the right-hand side, right there. You can, digital speedometer, I should say. The other one, you can have the speedometer in the center, but it would lose the lane keeping thing, lane keeping display or whatever else you put up there. Now, one thing that is pretty cool about this car is I'm going to hit this button right there, and you're going to see a little screen come up right here. That screen, this is almost impossible to film, so we'll see if we can get to it. Yeah, there we go. Come on, you can get clear. There's your heads-up display. Now you can change the color of your speed. You can see it's kind of clear. Ooh, I'm trying to get the focus on it, which is not working. You can see those lane keep lines above there. It's, again, not coming in focus here. Oh, boy. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, maybe? Yeah. But you can see those lane keeping lines ahead there. You can see the speedometer. You can have a whole bunch of information in there. But you do have a heads-up display, which works quite well in this car. It is on a separate screen, but it is kind of nice. So you have the best dash here that we have pretty much in all of our Kias at this point. And you also have the heads-up display there as well. And then over here, instead of that 8-inch display screen, you now have a 10.25-inch display screen. And what's cool about this is I can change my user. So I can change it from driver 1 to driver 2 or guest. What is your favorite heads-up display screen? The roll-up screen? Oh, I'll talk about that. Albert, ask me that question again in a couple minutes. We'll talk about that. So in here, you have a ability to switch the users. So the user is driver 1 or driver 2. Now, in this particular car, these screens can be set up in a number of different ways, and your radio stations, you might have your favorites, and someone you're sharing the car with might have their favorites, and you guys may not share music tastes. You could set that all up to be equivalent to the, or set it up on the driver 1 or driver 2. So that means that the whole dash here becomes what you want it to. Now, in the K5, they've gone one step further with their powered seats and everything else. You can switch drivers in the K5, which is a brand new car for us, and your climate system will change, your mirrors will change, the driver's seat position will change, all based on setup and your screen in here. So kind of a cool system. You'll notice EX and above had the identical climate system. So same climate system as the top end model in that EX model, which is why that EX is a really good value. Same type of thing down here. You still have the same drive modes. Now this one has a different engine and different transmission. This one has a dual clutch transmission and a more powerful 1.6 liter turbo engine. So that one makes 147 horsepower. This one makes 180 horsepower. But this one has 195 foot-pounds of torque. The foot-pounds of torque is what you really feel. And what you have over here on this top line one and on the EX Premium is rump roasters, as I like to call them, heated seats. You also have ventilated seats. Not going to keep those on for long today because, yeah, it's cool outside. And you have a heated steering wheel. So let's go back to those. Heated steering wheel, of course, that's on all of the cars from EX and above. But you have the same type of thing down there. Now you move away from the manual parking brake to electronic parking brake. The EX may have that. I'll have to double check that. I can't remember that off the top of my head. Across the steering wheel, same type of functions as the last car, but you'll notice we're now adding the Smart Cruise Control. So the Smart Cruise Control uses a radar plate out front and really gives that distance forwards and back. Now you can see where that Tesla is parked. Remember we talked about the Tesla Autopilot. So you've got lane keeping assist and lane follow assist, which is going to help steer the car, keep it centered in the lane. Now you've got Smart Cruise Control, which keeps you forward and or keeps the distance from the car in front of you. And it's very much like the original Tesla Autopilot. Very, very much like that feeling. So very cool car with a Smart Cruise Control. It works in stop and go traffic. I find I use my cruise control in stop and go traffic because the car in front of me will come to a stop and my car will stop. It will go and my car will go. It'll go 6 and 10 and 20 kilometers an hour and my car will go 6 and 10 and 20 kilometers an hour. It takes all the stress out of driving in traffic. So kind of a cool feature on this car right there. You also do step up in the audio system here. You can see it's a Bose audio system, Bluetooth, of course, HD radio, Sirius XM. You also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in the large screen, which you can make 2/3 of the screen, which I kind of like because it gives you Android Auto over here. You can have something like your radio information over here. Or if you want a pretty cool view, you can make this all your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay screen, fill the whole thing up, and that looks pretty cool as well. So you've got the option to do either one on this car. A lot of cool features there. One other thing that's pretty cool about these cars is if you look at right here, that is how you operate the little touch map lights. You just literally touch the thing. Now you can turn them all on like this, but you can just touch it there as well. So kind of a cool feature. All right, we're going to jump into your questions, and I guess I'm longer than the 3 minutes. We'll jump into your questions again. I'm going to go back to my computer because I couldn't get my Apple TV working this today. My computer is in a software update, and I guess it lost that shortcut. So we'll get that for next time. So I know Albert asked a question. I'll get to that in a second. Let me just see if there's anything else here. My computer went to sleep, so let me just jump back in. Okay, what do we got? Favorite heads-up display. Oh, is that model with the... Is this the model that will help me win the green light launch? Yes, exactly. The SX Turbo, that will take off a little quicker. Albert asked, instrument clusters, heads-up display. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, second best interest cluster. Oh, we talked a lot about it. Sorry, I'm just going through your questions here, guys. I watched every one of your Seltos videos, just doing research before my SX. Awesome job. Thank you for content. Thank you. Do all highlights compound higher end model? Like the highest model has everything one? Sorry, Jasmine, I was confused by your question there. Okay, so let me just talk about dash points. Albert asked which one I like: the heads-up display, the windshield, or the one in that screen. Now, I will say, in this screen, at the way I sit in this vehicle, I can look out through that little screen, and it's perfectly placed. On the Stinger or on the Telluride, it's placed on the windshield. Now, the reason they use this little screen, let me just show you what we're actually comparing here. On the Seltos, that little screen pops up there, and that's inside the car, of course, and that's where it projects your heads-up display, which makes it look like your speed is kind of out over here. It's way in front of the car, but they use that screen there. I don't mind it on the Seltos because I find it placed well. For me, where I sit in the Kia Soul that has that feature, I like to sit a little taller, and it kind of puts the height of the display on the windshield or on the hood for me, and that gets a little bit confusing for me. So on the Telluride and the Stinger, having on the windshield matters. Now, the reason they use this screen is because they have to have a special type of windshield to reflect properly for these types of displays. If they just use that, that's much less expensive to replace the windshield in the future. Hit the like button. We're getting close to 40. All right, we're at 28 likes. Still looking for those 40. What are some of the cons of this car? Cons? Perfect. Yeah. What are the cons? Can't tow. None of them. They cannot tow. So if you're buying a crossover and you want to be able to tow something, can't do it. Got to buy a Sportage. Sportage will start towing 2,000 pounds. We'll move up to Sorento from there. It tows more and more and more. Moving up to Telluride tows 5,000 pounds. That's a big con for me. The other con that I think Kia needs to correct is on all of the Fortes, right here on the door. So on a Forte, every Forte has at least some sort of soft touch armrest. When you move to the Seltos or Sportage, the LX models have a hard armrest right here until you get to the EX model where it's soft. I figured that they could make that soft on every car. Other cons, I don't know. Some people say that this car doesn't have enough power, but I think that's because the entire class has focused on fuel efficiency. I will say that these 147 horsepower versions, the transmission really gives you quite a bit of power, but the fuel economy is excellent. And that's what sometimes people forget. You don't really need as much power. And again, you have an option for more power on this car. But I think the market research says people care a little bit more about fuel efficiency at this type of car than power. And to me, I have no issues. If you want power in something like this size space, really fun to drive. Forte 5 GT gives you a hatchback, gives you great power. It's a little bit more of a car, not an all-wheel drive thing, but it's kind of fun, and it's a similar price point as well. Okay, somebody just asked a question that I missed. Let me just go down through here. Can you attach a bike rack into the back? Yeah, so two ways to do it. You can have it hook off the hatch, which I'm not a huge fan of those bike racks because I think if you like your bikes, you don't want to do that. Throw a little hitch on the back. You can get an accessory hitch on this car. You're just not rated to tow. So get the accessory hitch, put the bike rack in the back. Best way to take your bike. And don't forget, you've got roof racks up top. You can throw your bike up there as well. So you've got lots of options to take your stuff with you that way. We are 26 minutes in. I do plan to show you trunk space. I can show you headroom in the rear if you want to see that, but we do that a lot, so maybe I won't show headroom in the rear. Is this the model? You guys were talking about Sorento earlier, something. What did I miss there? Sorry, I can't remember what you guys said. If there's a question I missed, some of my regulars, feel free to repeat it. Is there a weight limit to those hitch accessories? There is. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. It won't be like nothing. It's decent. Like you can put bikes and that kind of thing. You can put a little cargo tray behind. I'm not a big fan of those cargo trays behind these smaller, lighter weight vehicles. I think just use your roof rack at that point. But yeah, you can certainly put bikes and that kind of thing. Not a problem. If you have a normal size bike rack, a normal size bike, a couple bikes, number bikes, it won't be an issue. Okay. Still trying to get the 30 likes. I got 28 people on, 28 likes, 29 people on, 28 likes. Trying to get to at least 30. I was going for 40, but I've adjusted my goals apparently. Okay. There was a question earlier I missed. I can't remember. Snow. You guys haven't seen snow in a while. That must be nice living in California. New Sorento has my heart, but the Seltos has my budget. I hear you. New Sorento, when it comes, I promise you, we will take a look at. Hey, you guys say you say 31 likes. I only see 30 likes. That's interesting. New Sorento, like I said, it's coming the end of this month. Nobody's going to have more content on that when we get here. Does the LX trim have the keyless entry? No, it doesn't. So the EX and above has keyless entry. Now, real quickly, I was going to show you the trunk. I want to show you the headlights on these cars as well, because there may be a reason that you want one over the other, and headlights is a big differentiating factor. So let me just turn those headlights on. Let me turn these headlights on. I want to show you these because I, in my Kia Soul, have LED headlights, and I highly recommend them to people if it's within your budget. It's not like it's the thing you have to have, but if you're not sure, that is one feature that may sway you. So over here, first of all, both of these cars, let me just get the camera right, have this LED thing here. Now this may start flickering on the camera. It doesn't flicker in real life, but it comes along there and it actually continues across the dash right there. It looks pretty cool. But what you have below here is LED fog lights there and LED headlights here. Let me show you why they're amazing. Come down here, bam, you get blasted with that bright light. That is a really bright, really white light, and I highly recommend it, and you'll see why right here as we take a look at the, oh, we're on the door. That's not the best place to be. All right, right here. See the bright light there? It looks yellow in my camera. It's bright white in person, and the same bright white down here. Actually, that's whiter, and that's a little bit dimmer, but it just looks a little yellower on the camera here. That really bright white light is really cool. It's helpful to see at night. Now you still have the same type of sharp cutoff over here, but you can see it's more of a yellow light, and that's because it uses the halogen light over here. So your halogen light comes on, still a nice sharp cutoff. Excuse me, they are dirty lenses there. I apologize. But that is a nice sharp cutoff, but it is a halogen light, which gives you just a little different color. And in my opinion, it's not quite as bright. Still nice sharp cutoff, still same thing. You got fog lights as well, but you can see the color difference here, white versus yellow. At night, this is much closer to daylight color, and it makes things look a little bit crisper to me. It may be a reason why you want to move up from the EX. However, this car has a lot, and it's not something I always say, you need to move from there. Thanks for helping me get my home link mirror. Looks stuck. All right, there we go. Help somebody out with that. Okay, back here, we'll show you quickly trunk space because I got my teddy bear here, and then we'll wrap this up. Hey, we got to 31 likes. Appreciate the 31 likes. Now we're only 9 away from my actual goal. Trunk space, lots in here. If you've ever looked at, like I said, Hyundai Kona, other vehicles, they have small trunks. These ones have big trunks. What's kind of cool with this, 60-40 split on the seats. They can be tilted back one level or sit where they are. And the floor, I'm going to pull it out here. Just kind of keep an eye on my hand. I'm going to pull it out here. See what we're doing over there. It drops down. You can see a spare tire there. Oops, there's the wheel locks in there. I'm going to take those out for a second. Oh boy, not going well here. Wheel up. Oh boy, that package is open. That's why. Things are going badly here, people. Wheel locks. Going to put them on the floor now as well. Okay. This was supposed to show you how easy this is. This is what happens on a live video. Live video, throw that down here. Somebody has been in there. That's why. You can see I dropped the floor. So now you've got a very, very deep floor, very big opening. When you fold down the seats, you've got a huge space. And those of you that know me, you know that I have Teddy Bear to measure trunk space. Teddy Bear is super helpful for this because if I fill the screen with a Telluride back end or a Seltos back end, you can't tell the difference in size, except you can when Teddy Bear's in there. So he's got a lot of space, a lot more than a Kia Soul, quite comfortable for a compact crossover, not just a small crossover, but a compact crossover. Lots of space in there, and he's quite comfortable. So we're going to leave him in there, and we'll take him out because I have to fix the other stuff. I think that's where we're going to leave it. I'm going to jump through your questions one more time. I hope you guys found this sort of helpful. But yeah, this is what Kia expects to be our #1 seller next year. Certainly at Brantford Kia, we were expecting that, and we already had it as a #1 seller for 2020. So really glad it showed up in a fairly tough year. It made us have a great year. But again, this is sort of where Kia's headed. You'll see the new Sorento will have a sort of similar design trend to it, and a lot of options there. Albert says, smash the like button for Teddy. That would be great. Hopefully that's enough information for today. We will have more this week. I'm still looking for ideas this week. So if you guys have something you want to see, let me know in the comments. Let me know on my Instagram. It's at Peter_Brantford_Kia. And you can find me there. I always talk about what we're doing that day on live and video. And that's how we got to here. So thanks everybody for watching. It's been fun. We will talk to you again tomorrow.